Welcome to the youfa channel. Today, we're wrapping up Pride Month. Life's not all sunshine and rainbows like people want you to think it is. The world can be a cruel place, often because people make it that way. Human beings can be a lot of things. And I'm supposed to keep my mouth shut? Guess again. I'm Johnny V. Welcome to the youfa channel. Welcome back, guys. As usual, somebody's cutting the grass. It's been going on for an hour. They've been running the blower for about an hour. They must be really enjoying it. Maybe they're humping the damn thing. A couple weeks ago, I did a video, Where's Our Month? And I went on this tangent and I mentioned the sequence of months that honor particular groups of individuals. And I skipped May. Well, I got a comment from somebody that said May is apparently Military Appreciation Month. And he said, is it possible you skipped that because you're biased? No, I'm not biased. I just didn't know. I was unaware that May is Military Appreciation Month. And I probably should have known that, especially since I went to Mission Barbecue a couple times and they were giving free meals to active service members, which I think is completely awesome. So this guy called me biased, which under normal circumstances would really piss me off, but I think because he didn't use the word prejudice and he didn't really attack me too much, it didn't really irritate me as much as it normally would have. Furthermore, he used his real name, which I won't mention on the show, but that takes balls. So thanks for bringing it to my attention. That's not the reason I skipped May. I just didn't know. And furthermore, I mentioned that those months are to honor people who did great things for the country. And I respect that. So you have no right to call me names, understand? However, I'm going to hand you something on a silver platter. You want to call me biased? Fine, that's fine, because I'm disgusted with what I just read the other day. A friend of mine told me this over lunch last week, and I believed him, but I really didn't, I didn't think much about it, and it popped up on my news feed. There's a group called the Sisters of Perpetual Indulgence. They dance around and they make fun of Catholicism and the crucifixion. They mock the greatest human being ever to walk the earth, suffering and dying. Now, regardless of what you believe as far as religion goes, how the hell can you make fun of a good human being doing something kind and suffering for it? Yet, in Los Angeles, the Dodgers are honoring them with a Community Hero Award for their efforts to promote human rights, diversity, and spiritual enlightenment. Spiritual enlightenment? Dancing around making fun of the crucifixion? That's spiritual enlightenment? Fuck you! Now, a handful of players stood up and spoke up and made comments like it's a slap in the face to Christians and Catholics and what they believe. And it is, but back to what I said before, it's an even bigger slap in the face to Jesus, to any good human being who does good and kind things and makes sacrifices for others. What a kick in the balls. Sir, you are not the first person to call me prejudiced or homophobic. It really pisses me off. Let me give you an analogy. Do you like tortilla chips? Lots of people do. Do you like Doritos? Am I allowed to say that word, Doritos? I eat them wet. Yeah, I eat them wet. Yes, wet. I take a handful and I run them under the kitchen faucet. Sometimes I put them in a bowl and I just wash them off. Sometimes I'll pour water into the bag and shake it up and pour out all the salt and everything, and I eat them wet. I'm sure that's unfamiliar to you. Does it sound gross? Does it disgust you? Now, you probably already see where I'm going with this, so you're going to sit there and go, no, it's not weird. It's not unfamiliar. It's not gross. Yes, it is. You think it's disgusting. Everybody does. And I don't hate you for it. Would you like it if I called you a chipophobic? A wet chipophobic? Does that make any sense at all? And do you hate me because I eat wet Doritos? No, you don't care. It's the same thing. It's the same thing about homosexuality. We don't care. Stop throwing this shit in our face. Stop calling us names and telling us we're prejudiced. Because that's bullshit. It is perfectly okay for you to think it's weird and to think it's disgusting for me to eat wet chips. And if that's perfectly okay, then it's perfectly okay for me to think it's weird for one man to ball another man in the ass. I do not hate gay people. I do not hate transgender people, and I'm certainly not afraid of them. I'm just sick of all this bullshit. Like the story about this guy, Jack Phillips. He's a baker in Colorado. This is a decade old, this story, but it's resurfacing. He refused to bake a cake for, I think it was a gay wedding. Now, somehow he stayed in business because I heard they ran the guy into the ground. They crucified this guy. And somehow he won. He lost in court, but then he won in the Supreme Court. It got overturned that he didn't have to make the cake. Well, now they came to him again for a transgender coming out party or transgender reveal party, whatever it's called. And he didn't want to do it. Look, man, he didn't sabotage anybody's life. He just doesn't want to be involved, and that's his right. Now he's in court again. If he wins, he still loses. I'm paraphrasing this article here because of all the bullshit he has to go through. It's fucking bullshit. Leave the man alone. He left you alone. Leave him alone. The guy just doesn't want to be involved. Who the fuck are you to harass somebody who's just minding their own business? I am not homophobic.